Hello again, it's Dave Christie here from Incl. I'm afraid you can't get rid of me, I'm back with more words of wisdom hopefully. What I'm here to talk about today is something that I've been asked in the 25 years that I've worked in this industry numerous times, and that is, have you got a clear coating for oak that we can use outside? It's also probably a question that you've been asked many times by your customers. Can you provide me with a clear coating for my oak bifold doors or my oak French doors? So it's something we're never going to be able to get away from. We're going to be constantly asked it, so we've got to try and provide a solution for it. Christie have several different technologies and coatings in clear versions that we thought we would put through the mill and check in our QUV chamber alongside two very big selling and well-known alternatives, which for legal reasons we're not going to give you the brand names of or the actual names of, but you might find it interesting to see the results that we achieved. Okay, so we're going to take you through these coating systems one by one. The first one I'd like to show you is a solvent-borne coating that we provide in the Christie range. It's quite a high gloss solvent-borne alkyd coating. This is the material before it's been exposed to the QUV chamber. So it's a very high gloss finish, typical of probably, like a yacht varnish almost, but it is a like a higher technology version of a yacht varnish. Now, this is what happened to it after 12 weeks in the QUV chamber. It's fairly obvious that it didn't fare too well. What you've got here are the two areas where the UV light bombardment took place, these two sections here, and it's pretty badly eroded and cracked on those areas. Okay, the second one I'm going to show you is one of the alternative products produced by one of our competitors. This is a very big selling product, brush applied mainly for the retail market, but I do know that this performs quite well, and it was one of the reasons that we chose it, because we want to show things or competitor products at their best. It's a solvent-borne alkyd brushing product. You can see here, this is the satin version of it. It's got quite a nice sheen. This is before any UV exposure took place. And this sample is the QUV weathered sample. So you can see here these fairly eroded edges. On these pieces it's not completely eroded away, but it has lost its sheen. So you probably can see that as I show it in the light there. It's a very matted out surface. This is the third solvent-borne system that we're going to show you. This is also one of our competitor products, very well known. Wood oil of description, and this material has a very nice low sheen finish. That is it before any exposure to UV. Looks very nice indeed, very popular out there amongst many of our customers. You've probably got some in your own factory. Once it's been exposed to its 12 weeks QUV, it's not performed too good either. Severe erosion here on both the areas exposed to the UV light, matted out, but that doesn't really much matter because it's sort of almost eroded to a point where it's starting to completely come away from the surface and offer no protection. Moving on to waterborne products, this is our Hydrolux waterborne in a clear version. Now, it's the semi-gloss version of that product. It's got a very nice original appearance. It doesn't really affect the colour of the oak at all, and it's a very attractive sheen finish. This is what's happened to it in the QUV. So you see the bottom and the top, if you can see there, that section are roughly the same colour as this, but these two areas have been severely bleached by the UV light. But what you will see with this is that the erosion is almost non-existent. This finish is exactly the same sheen, even on the areas that have been subject to the QUV bombardment. So that is really a great result in terms of the film, but an unsatisfactory result in terms of the product for the bleaching. Obviously, if you looked at that in isolation, some customers may accept that because it's just a lighter version of the oak, but it could be rejected by some customers because of that lightening effect. Moving on to another waterborne version that we have. This is the Incl wood coat. This is the product before any QUV exposure. It's a very nice sort of 10 to 15% sheen, I suppose an eggshell some people would describe it as. Very nice appearance, very natural looking product. It's an alkyd emulsion, so it's based on an alkyd like the solvent-borne products are, but it's dissolved in water or held in a suspension in water. Now when this product is subject to the UV light, what you see is a darkening effect on the timber. This is because acids in the alkyd react with the oak and give it that discoloration or that darkening. But counteracting that, you've got the QUV lightening the surface. So you get a sort of a mellowing out of the finish. Now, it's very little erosion considering it's a 5-year finish on there, but you have got a bit. But that has got complete retention of its sheen. The sheen has not changed at all. So that is non-eroded basically. There is no erosion of that coating. There is a little bit there on these bits where it's got some QUV damage, but that's looking okay. And if you had that in isolation, where you couldn't see the original colour, you'd probably be quite pleased with that result. Okay, so what we'd like to do is we'd like to offer a free sample of one of the products we mentioned, which is the Incl wood coat, which has got the nice 15-10% sheen, and we can offer that in 2 versions. We have our brushing version, or we have our spray version. Our spray version holds up to about 175-200 micron spraying, and the brush version brushes out very nicely. What we will do is we'd offer a free 500ml sample of either, so you could put your spray version through a pot gun or something, or you could brush out some of the clear at your leisure. So just let us know and we'll send you a free sample.